And we're back. I'm Keenan Dalton of Top World Disc Golf, here with Paavo Stubstad of Pure Heiser Productions.
Wow, got an old PHP shout out. Wasn't expecting that, Keenan. Excited to be here once again to watch the back 12 of this opening round of the Pro Masters Cup 2024.
This is the long position, 343 feet. We call this hole the wind chimes because there's some wind chimes high up in the tree right above the basket. So you kind of aim at that, or there's also a disc that is nailed to the tree. So those are your aiming points, and you just want to crash your disc in right above these trees in order to give yourself a putt. So tough hole.
This is the hole they also call the kitchen, right?
Yes. Yeah,
yep.
But that is mostly the short position because you get close to the refrigerator that's down there.
Ah, gotcha. So the different pins have different names. That's fun.
And then Miles Harding up first. Looks like he didn't really commit to that. It just hyzers out early. That's not going to have the distance for a birdie. Dustin Keegan. Yeah, this looks good.
Ooh, good shot. It's interesting, this hole being at a course where the 2-meter rule is always in play, and the play on this hole kind of is crash the trees and hope that you don't stick.
Yeah, and Chandler is showing off the sidearm line where you kind of just go over that dead pine. He did it a little too wide, but fortunately, I think he got through there unscathed.
Nate turned that over a bit much, I think.
Yeah, but it pops out, and he's circle 2 with a putt.
Little flex, little baby flex.
Little baby flex. Chandler, okay, yeah, so he just went deep left.
Yeah, pretty much in the fairway for the next hole. Miles giving it a bid.
Wow. Good bid. Here's where Nate ended up. Oh, yeah. That's not bad at all. Oh, just a few inches low.
Yeah, looked like he thought he had it. Started walking it down. DK for birdie.
DK.
Nice.
Donkey Kong. Sorry. Had to do it once. Chandler for a par.
Par for Miles as well if he makes this short putt. All right, moving on to hole 14. This one is in the long position, so it is actually a par 4. 602 feet. It's only about 70 feet past the par 3 position or so. So it's basically the same line off the tee. You want to get through this mouth that the drone is flying through, maybe get a lucky skip off of some of the dry earth, and that, would give you a relatively easy up and down for birdie since it is a par 4.
Good 2-shot hole right here, Keenan. I like this hole. I like this pin. It's also fun to see when a hole averages exactly par down to the 100th of a stroke, 4.0.
Dustin, good line on it, but just too much stability. It looked like it hyzered out early. And Miles, kind of a similar mistake that he had on hole 5, just a lot of hyzer and just too much flip up.
At least it kept going, nicked those trees a little bit and kept going. He might still be able to play for a birdie depending on what line he has. Be a much harder second shot, of course, but and here, Chandler just playing right to the middle, not trying to bite off too much.
Yeah, I've seen Paige Pierce take a similar line for the short or the long par 3 position. She'll just throw a putter straight up the gut and land right here and then go up over the trees. Chandler's doing the same around the left side.
Hey, makes sense to me. 600-foot par 4, you don't have to bite off too much on the first shot, and if you can play to a spot, that gives you the option of going up and over instead of contending with 347 tiny little tree trunks. Why not, if you have the arm for it?
Yeah, he's in the circle 1.
Yep. Suppose the only risk of going that way versus playing down the gut is the 2-meter penalty potential, but still seems like it's worth the risk.
Wow, that was a tricky shot, like a falling roller, a fadeaway roller.
Yeah. Love it. Oh, Nate's in almost the same spot? That's funny.
Yeah, he's just a little further right, so he does have that line through the trees.
Oh, it was looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's looking like for a par at best after those first 2 shots.
Maybe a long birdie look coming up for Dustin.
Oh, gave it a chance. See what Dustin's got left.
All right, this is for birdie. Nope, doesn't want it. Fair. That was pretty far. Pretty risky to run that. Chandler does get the birdie. Well done, sir.
Yeah, there you go. Back to 5 down after the earlier bogey on hole 12. So, or sorry. Yeah, hole 12.
Yeah.
So, good bounce back there.
Yeah, actually, that for those who missed the front 12, that bogey on hole 12 was his first bogey of the round. Even lasting that long at Daylaw without a bogey is pretty impressive.
And then on to hole 15. If you see all that weed whacking early in the fairway, that was me. Yeah, took care of this hole for you guys. This one is in the long position, par 4, so it's a relatively new pin position. You can take the same line as you would for basically any of these pin positions off the tee. Just want to put yourself in a good spot off the tee and throw a good upshot to get the relatively easy birdie.
Yeah, it's pretty short for a par 4, but it makes sense to me as a par 4 given the shape of the fairway. There's not really a play for eagle despite that it's only 420.
And it did come down, but just a little bit too low from Chandler. He's trying to go up over the top.
Dustin, that shot looks great.
Yeah.
Hoping for a big flare skip probably.
Yeah.
Did he get it?
That's what you want. Oh, missed the high 5 though.
Oh no. It's a bad omen. Appropriate reaction there from Miles. Nate going for the high Anheuser forehand. Looked too high. I can't imagine that holds. That probably fades out, right?
Yeah, it looked like he didn't get enough. Oh, he'll still be far enough down the fairway that birdie's not out of the question for Nate.
Unfortunate little nick there on that little branch for Chandler.
Oh, hits a branch and rolls away from the basket. That was almost great.
That didn't want to stop rolling even in the taller grass.
Nate's second shot under the basket. Tap in birdie coming his way.
Nice. Great little chip forehand from Dustin.
Yeah, he should also be able to secure a birdie 3.
Boom! Oh man, another great putt from Chandler.
Yeah, it's
For
like
those of you again, who happened to miss the front 12, go back and check it out. He hit a couple of huge putts. So that's his third, like, edge of circle 2-ish or farther putt of the round.
His putter is working. Easy birdie for Dustin.
Par for Miles. Been getting a lot of those lately. And great birdie from Nate.
On to hole 16. This one is in the long position, 339 feet. Got to get up over this little ravine that's filled with oak trees. So you got to, have some height on the throw. And then, 2 meters is also in play. So that's part of the difficulty of this hole. I think Chandler is going to have the advantage with his big sidearm. Just aim at that dead pine there.
Yeah, it almost looks like you want to play a little bit long. Oh, wow, almost aced it. He said, forget about playing long. I'm going for the ace run through the tree. But yeah, like that kind of demonstrates what I was about to say is you go for the park job, you are gambling with the 2 meter penalty potential because you're kind of just crashing that oak tree that's just short left of the basket.
See if Nate can do the same. Oh, too low. Needs an air bounce. Doesn't get it.
Needs to not stick in a tree. Seems like it dropped since we didn't see an OB graphic.
This looks good. Just a little short.
Should be an easy par from there, though. Maybe even a long look, but there's kind of a low ceiling on any long putts from short of the pin on this hole, so tough to give him a bid. Looked pretty good from Nate. Couldn't really see the result. Oh, just short from Miles. Oh, I was wrong. He had plenty of opportunity to birdie. No low ceiling. Great birdie from Chandler. Another one. 7 down.
Turkey.
Hell yeah.
Gobble, gobble. Miles's par streak continues.
Yep, Dustin and Nate also getting pars there.
All right, on to hole 17. Flying over the infamous Lake Maple, or the famous rather. 448 feet, par 3. Got to get it past these little baby trees. Got to get it over the dead fallen log, and then get a little bit of turn over to the right side. It's a tough hole to access and one of the longer holes on the course.
Too much turn there for Chandler. I was going to say, I like how the hole shapes for the flex forehand.
Yeah, he's got all the distance to get there. Just like you said, just a little too much flex on it and ends up in that oak tree.
Oh, that was looking good, I think, from Dustin. A little too much turn. Yeah.
Just had to get over that stump. He smacks it.
Similar line from Perkins. Yep, similar result.
Yeah, without that fallen tree in the way, it would be a pretty wide open putt, but he's going to have that to contend with.
Miles seems to like understable plastic. He's had a lot of shots where, you know, my initial reaction at the release is to think like, oh, that's going to go left. He didn't turn that over enough. But no, it flips up slowly but surely. Uh-oh.
Yeah, not a good upshot from Chandler.
No.
He's going to want that one back.
A little low there from Miles.
Up and over.
Yeah, you weren't kidding. That kind of makes putting almost impossible from where Nate was. Chandler for par. Kind of a scary putt. Well, at least he hit the tree. But not a good bid.
No.
That's a weird bogey to see. Oh, good bid from Dustin. Weird bogey to see from Chandler when he's been putting so hot, to kind of leave the upshot low and then airball the putt. See how he can bounce back on the next hole. Perkins cleaning up the par. DK doing the same. And yeah, I mean, this is a tough hole. It averaged 3.26 and had only 5 birdies on the day. So you're not losing strokes to many people with a par on this 448-foot hole.
And moving on to hole 18, the iconic gravity hole, 225 feet. You just don't want your disc to go down there into the abyss on the right side. You want to go around this V tree, either left or right. Hopefully you don't roll. Put it close to the bricks.
Yeah, as I was talking about in our coverage of the AM weekend, I kind of think the backhand to the left of the V tree is the ideal play. It looks a little counterintuitive, but you can pretty much count on the counter skip every time. Wow, good ace run from Dustin. Whereas the hyzer around the right of the V tree, like Dustin showed us, is definitely the way to ace run it, but you have a higher chance to roll away if you hit basket or you hit some of those pavers holding up the earth there at the pin.
Another ace run.
Followed your little tracer.
Great shots there. Well, I thought Miles was going to show us the line I was talking about, but once again, with that understable bag, he knows so well that flips up, and yeah, I mean, no real chance of that rolling away. Great play there for Miles. Yeah, I'm surprised, honestly, to not see Chandler go backhand on this hole. I mean, it's basically like an upshot, similar to the backhand upshot he threw earlier, actually, in the front half of this round. Chandler gets the par there.
Mm-hmm.
Miles with the birdie, and probably, not probably, almost certainly another couple of birdies coming up here, assuming we don't get any spit outs. I think this hole was the scene of a classic disc golf incident many years ago where Nate Doss had kind of a spit out that hooked on the edge of the basket and hung on the outside of it, hanging on 2 of the nubs at the same time, at a time when I believe that did not count. It would count today, but I digress. Back to the coverage of 2024 and not 10 years ago.
All right, on to hole 19. We call this hole the Anaconda hole because you have this giant tree root in front of the basket. Kind of reminds you of an anaconda. And you got to get, just up to that to have a scary death putt.
Another difficult De La hole. I guess it's not too difficult, but treacherous. Short, but treacherous.
kind of a hard birdie to get because it's very hard to access. Kind of the traditional line here from Miles. It's past the Anaconda. But kind of dribbled into the poison oak.
Now, do you know if players get relief from that under the whatever hazardous plants and animals rule?
Yeah, I think in the past there has been a optional poison oak relief.
That would make sense.
But from where Miles is, it's kind of never ending, you know. If you go further back from the basket, it might be a while before you find a clearing.
Yep. I guess just if you're allergic, wear pants if you're going to play a tournament here.
Scary upshot from Chandler.
Hey, good tree. Probably was going to stop anyway. Nate with a creative Anheuser putt through the branches of that tree. All right, here's where Miles ended up in that poison oak, you can see. Wow, what a putt.
There we go. Yeah, left side, corner pocket.
He's had a couple of tricky putts that he hit kind of out of the rough. He had one on the front 12 as well, I believe.
Yeah, and with that birdie, Miles is back under par, so kind of grinded to get back in that position.
Yep, good point, Keenan. That puts our entire feature card under par at this point. Discs on top of each other there. Got to mark them both. And Miles with the only birdie on our card. 3 pars. That hole actually averaged 2.58, so a good percentage of the field birdied it.
Okay. Good lines. All right, on to hole 20, 324 feet. Got to miss this down tree here, big tree root there that you need to avoid. And yeah, just fly the flight of the drone, try and hit this hard pan or get there in the air. Obviously the road is OB, so that doesn't really come into play, but there's a possibility for sure.
Miles up first after that birdie, and that is short left.
A great rollout, though. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, getting Daylot in a positive way, what? I mean, he is the local. If anyone should get some love from the course, it makes sense that it would be him on this card.
Oh, that was almost it. Hits a little bit of foliage. Still going to have a putt, though, from circle 2.
Early from Perkins as well. Really, you just want to get around that root ball on a hyzer. Of course, if you're Chandler Kramer, you make a forehand work on every hole out there.
Yeah, look at the
Going for
flight on this disc.
Beautiful hyzer flip. Love to watch that.
That should be in the circle.
Channeling his inner Jeremy Colling with those hyzer flip forehands. Love it.
Miles just going to take the par. That was a unique kind of upshot from Nate. The little fadeaway.
Yep.
Dustin for birdie.
Perfect. Great putt, Dustin.
Cash money.
Puts him at 3 down now. Second place on our feature card, at least.
And here's Nate Perkins to save par, hopefully. Well done. Good scramble.
Good birdie from Chandler. 7 under.
All right, let's start the walk up the hill. Starting it off with hole 21, 351 feet. This is a classic Masters Cup basket position. You got to get up over these straw wattles and hay bales, and the basket is just nestled up here. So probably a backhand hyzer for most of this field.
So are we not going to see the basket at the very top of the hill on the left in this round or the third?
Yeah, they will not be playing that position this weekend.
Okay. I mean, almost no one ever birdied it. Makes sense, I guess. I kind of miss seeing it, though. Uh-oh.
Nate,
that rolled it.
Yeah, bad roll away.
Did it go on the road or across?
Not almost to the road, but not quite OB.
Okay. Safe at the very least, but bad roll away in any case. Nice.
A great line from Chandler. I think that was that boss again. Just Anheuser just held it. Gonna have probably a pretty easy birdie after that great drive.
Nice. Oh, I was gonna say good backhand line from Miles, but yeah, you're kind of almost any shot you're gambling with the rollaway. I suppose the forehand approach for Chandler probably has less rollaway risk than the more traditional backhand line.
Yeah.
Just given the undulations of the ground right there and those little retaining walls or whatever they are, sandbags.
Yeah, I think you want to throw it like Nate did there, coming in pretty flat relative to the slope so that you don't have that hyzer angle and hit the hard dirt and have that rollaway potential.
Yep. And Dustin's up there. He was fortunate to not roll into the road, so he's going to save par at least.
It stopped. That's good.
Yeah. Sit. Such a scary green.
Here's where Chandler landed. Another one. Putting together a great round now that he's 8 under par.
Man, he's been putting together a great round pretty much the whole time. It's been a fun watch.
Yeah, very inspiring with all these unique sidearm lines he's throwing. Oh.
Not even your bag's safe, someone said. I couldn't tell who.
All right, on to hole 22. Long pin, 276 feet, but this is a very steep uphill, so it plays probably closer to 350. And there's definitely that rollaway potential on the green as well with the short grass and that steep slope. The backhand's probably the best play, but it's going to need a little bit of flip up, and you want it to land pretty flat.
Yeah. Chandler a little bit left there, kicks left. Should be able to save par.
This looks
Good
like the
line
line,
from-
yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh, good roll, maybe. Stop. Yes.
Parked it.
Very nice.
pretty similar line from Miles, but doesn't get that nice roll that Dustin had.
Early release from Perkins.
Yeah, that would be a good Good drive for the final day short pin, but not for this basket position.
Chandler with a much trickier upshot than I thought he would have. Well done. He's got to look to save the par. Oh, no. Oh, good second kick.
He's going to have to work for his bar now.
Ah, just high for Nate.
Miles for birdie.
Oh, just low. 24 holes out here at De La is a long day. And good par save there for Chandler. Like I said, upshot much trickier than I had anticipated. Good birdie for Dustin. Woo! A little bit high there for Nate.
Yeah. He's probably holding his breath on that one.
Couple holes left.
Yep, moving on to hole 23. You got slope on left and right, and this is in the extra long position, so borderline par 4. Not going to be too many birdies with this long pin. It's going to take a special drive to get there. But for most of these guys...
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, for most of these guys, it's kind of a two-shot hole. If you just play smart and keep it in the middle and then nice upshot and just walk away with your 3 is fine.
But I mean, 468, and it is relatively flat, right? It's not really up or downhill. We got some bonus coverage of the third card here, I assume.
Yep. There's Thomas Tomaselli, the local course pro. Doesn't get the turn out of it that he was looking for.
But yeah, like I was saying, I mean, it's very tough to birdie, but 468 without being uphill, it is technically reachable by a lot of professionals who have 500 feet. You know, it's just a very specific line that's required. Josh Anton with his classic run-up. It's like no other disc golfer. Love it.
Yeah, is it really a Masters Cup if Josh isn't playing? There's Top World Tour team Connor Whiting trying to secure his par, or maybe throw it in. Almost.
Ooh. Anton running the upshot there. And that's it for our bonus coverage. Back to our featured programming. Dustin, good power, just a little too much turn. He gets through, though. Back to the fairway-ish, I want to say. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close to the short position on this hole.
Now this is the right shot shape for this hole. Yeah, just turned it a little bit too much, but I like the idea. And if anyone has the arm to get there with a forehand flex shot, it's Chandler Kramer.
And Miles kind of playing that layup, which is not a bad play on this hole.
Yeah.
Perkins going full send.
Beautiful. Well, that might give him a jump putt at a birdie. Oh, yeah. Jump putt at a birdie right there. Ooh, Miles trying to skip it in. Did that sit?
Kind of, yeah. He's going to have to make a tough, kind of a tester putt if he wants the par.
Oh, Chandler warming up like he's going to throw a more powerful forehand than he needs. That was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's calculating a throw-in.
Yep, that's certainly what he was trying to do. 8 down isn't enough. Got to get to 9. Yep, he even said it. He wanted to throw it in. Oh, good bid from Nate.
Yeah, I would have loved.
All right.
I would have loved to see a 2 on this hole. Was there any today, Paavo?
There were none. I was just waiting for the 4 players on our card to throw their second shots before giving spoilers. But yep, no birdies on the day. Averaged 3.58.
Wow.
I'm honestly surprised that there were none. You know, I-5 in the quote-unquote short placement where they call it a par 3, I'm not surprised to see no birdies on that. But this, 468, I mean, there's enough players in the field that have 468. I'm surprised none of them hit the right line or made a big putt or anything. Very tough par 3, but I do agree with the par on this one. Unfortunate bogey from Miles there puts him back to even par.
All right. On to Top of the World from Top World Disc Golf. 527 feet. This one's in the medium position, and it's going to be in the medium for Sunday as well. So you got the road parking lot that can come into play, or, you know, if the hyzer's out too early, it could land in this olive tree, and the 2 meter can also come into play. But I think the sidearm is probably the best play because there's less chance of it fading towards the road. We'll see what these guys opt for.
Good to play with you, Miles. Enjoyed it. Thanks for filming, Keenan.
Hey, buddy.
Top
Hey.
World Disc Golf.
Thanks, Perkins. Shouting out cameraman and commentator, Keenan Dalton.
Oh, this looks pretty high. Oh, but nice spike.
Yeah. Great shot. I mean, with that much elevation loss, you can throw pretty high, I would imagine, and still get there. This looks like it's going too far right.
No, I think it looks good.
No? Oh, totally. I don't know the course well enough. Don't pay attention to me, folks. Beautiful shot, Chandler. Looks like he's going to finish at 9 down. Very impressive. Good looking out, Chandler, making sure Keenan doesn't miss the next shot.
Got to get a reaction after a shot like that.
Of course.
Nate throwing a similar line, but just too high, fading a little more right.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was imagining with Chandler's, but clearly I actually have never played here. But I've seen enough coverage, I should know.
If you see that white building there in the center of the screen, that's the Chaminade of Santa Cruz. Greg Barsby likes to say that he just aims for that. Just throw it flat at that building and then just let the disc fade at the basket.
Makes sense for those throwing a forehand on this hole anyway. I would imagine you need a completely different aiming point for the backhand hyzer. Oh, man.
I mean to go for
Miles
that.
hitting cage.
No, it just kept floating.
Almost got himself back under par at the end.
Perkins from a similar spot.
But, you know, for Miles, I mean, even par at De La in the longs is still not a bad day. It's just such a challenging course. A little high for Dustin. Yeah, not the finish he was looking for. The most dreaded words in disc golf, you're still out. Little comebacker here. Oh. It was a little right, but I kind of feel like that was rude of the basket. That's like a catches 80% of the time type of putt. And Chandler hits the birdie to finish. Look at that. 9 under par. I'm excited to see where that puts him on the leaderboard here momentarily.
Yeah, solid opening round.
Woo! Man, this basket's not being nice to Perkins. There was nothing wrong with that putt. He even threw it softly and it tried to spit it back out. And that's going to do it.
Yep, that'll do it for round 1 of our featured card for the pro weekend of the Santa Cruz Masters Cup. Here's your top 10 after one round. Ezra Robinson is in first place after shooting a 10 under par.
And Chandler Kramer making it on the lead card there. We're going to be giving you chase card coverage for the remainder of the event. Round 2 will be at Pinto Lake. Come back and join us.
See you guys there.